All right, so what is this? What is this? What is this? This is disaster. Look at this. This is my LG microwave. This is the LMV1262ST model, and this is what we ran into recently. I had repaired it once because I thought it would be like a quick fix, but you know, you don't want to feel you got to get a brand new one or whatever, so I just took some glue to it and tried to fix it that way. Of course, that doesn't hold. The glue gave, mainly because I feel it's under the heat of the heat that's coming from the stove and things like that. So I could have probably got another one, but that's not the point. The point is this microwave, this is 2026, and if I'm not mistaken, this thing was purchased about either 2022 or 2023. And just from us coming and pulling this handle, only 2 grown-ups in the house, right? And just from us pulling this handle to open up this microwave, it just gave. And then I looked up online and I seen other videos of other people having the same problem. So I'm checking the plastic on the inside of this, and it's brittle. I'm actually pushing it with my finger, and my finger is going through the plastic just now. So as you're pulling this, and probably when you're closing the door, it is breaking up inside. And when you pull the handle, it finally gave. So we pull it from the middle, like you should do as adults. We're not pulling it from the bottom, we're pulling it from the middle, opening it up, and finally this thing gave. So it's a piece of crap. I highly recommend anybody, before you go out and buy a product, do not make it LG. And the only reason I'm doing this video, because the stove, for some reason, knock on wood, hasn't given us any issues, but it's an LG model as well, and I haven't had any problems with it. But if you move over to the refrigerator, I actually had to replace an LG model with a Frigidaire, because what I did was I went out and I purchased this as a set. So we got the microwave, we had got the refrigerator and the stove all at the same time. And pretty much it saved money by doing it as a bundle. And they delivered it, installed the microwave, stove, and refrigerator. Between the refrigerator and the microwave, these were the 2 biggest headaches. The refrigerator itself, we had a home warranty plan, and I had a guy, the company specialized in LG products, right, through my home warranty. These are the people they use. And this guy showed up to the house at least 4 times, replacing the equipment on the back end, on the inside, and the back side of that refrigerator. Refrigerator run, 2 to 3 weeks later, shuts down again, right? Shuts down again. He comes back out again, repairs it, brand new parts, changing out the compressor, changing out the fan, putting in another board, the whole 9, leaves, refrigerator look like it's up and running again, another 2 weeks, back down again. Everything we put in the refrigerator is not holding, freezer, everything, thawing out, right? So I called my home warranty people, and that's another story too. I dropped, if you ever do a home warranty, I highly recommend if you're gonna do it with First, I forgot the name of it, but it's First something. Just look it up. You'll see, if you type in home warranty, First American, they were the best ones that I ran with. Pretty solid, handle business. If you need something replaced, they took care of it. The other one I was running with, when I changed out, and that was mainly because they had better options that I loved, but at the same time, it's all black and white. It's just words. They don't go by the code of what they said they're gonna do. And I'm trying to think of their name, and it'll probably come to me while I'm talking about this. But anyway, I highly recommend, before you do anything, if you do a home warranty, I will recommend First American. I'm not going back to home warranty plans because I have my credit cards and things like that. I have a nice amount as far as credit goes, if anything happens. So I'd rather not pay per month for the home warranty but something that my credit cards can take care of, and I just rather pay off the balance, because that's what you're doing anyway with a home warranty. If nothing happening, you're still paying them over $69 to $70 some a month, depending on what type of contract you got. But First American, I can say for the most part, if you don't have that capability of having credit cards that can actually take care of those situations when something does happen, then I say, yeah, get it, pay like $49, $50, and then when something happens, you just pay an upfront fee, and then they'll send somebody out 9 times out of 10, and they'll get it fixed. And if they can't fix it, First American replaces it up to the best they can, right? They will take care of it. But this company I dealt with, I'm trying to think of their name. Hold on. Okay, I just remembered. The name of the company is Choice. You do not want to use this company, Choice Home Warranty. You do not want to use them. And I tell you why. I had a situation came up with a water heater, and I damn near paid for the water heater myself when it was all said and done. I had put money into Choice Home Warranty as far as replacement, and we had a water heater problem, and they had a guy that came out, and I don't know what it was, but I could have did it myself when it was all said and done. And I just remember that home warranty, they still charged me $500. The tank itself was $500. So I basically paid for that tank. And they tried to make it look like I was paying for the service, but it shouldn't have been $500. So I got stuck, right, to get that done. I had no idea on how to do the water tank myself, right? So I thought it was all a bunch of, what it was. I thought it was going to be one of them deals where it's going to be complicated to do this. When that guy came in, I swear, I kid you not, I wound up helping this dude, right? They sent me one guy to put in a water tank in my garage. There's nothing to block him from putting the water tank in. And I had to help him because the only thing he couldn't do, he couldn't lift it because of the weight of it. But other than that, I remember he put it in, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, I just gave you $500 and I could have did this myself. And I can't believe that he actually took the money, which I get. Business is business. He just does what he does. So I got stuck, but I told myself right then and there, I got rid of Choice Home Warranty and never looked back. They were still trying to come at me to pay monthly. And they had it set up where it was hard to get out of the contract. You had to call and speak to somebody, right? That would not answer. So they're still sending me a bill, and I'm telling them, look, I'm done, right? First American, when you wanted to cancel, you just cancel. And they'll tell you, when you think you're ready to come back, we're here. So they're straight up and up. If I had to say home warranty companies, I think are straight up and up, it's them. But it was Choice that had a decision to make when it came to my refrigerator. And they would not abide by the contract after this guy tried to fix it so many times, and it still did not resolve the matter. It's an LG product. LG is cheap. They may have other things that they specialize in, but when it comes to anything dealing with refrigerators, I don't even know if I trust them when it comes to washers and dryers, right? Because they probably use secondhand components. Because this microwave, there is no way, as easy as that door opens, that handle on that microwave should have separated itself. But like I just showed you, when I stuck my finger in there and pressed that plastic, that is how easy it shattered. It broke. So now I'm debating whether or not I have to sacrifice, right? Because the handle, when I looked it up online, it said 100 for some buyers, and then other ones were trying to sell it for 90. That's too much. That's too much to be spending for a handle. And that's not even the problem. The problem is, if I get that handle, that does not fix the door, because that plastic on the inside that holds that handle is shattered. I just hit it with my finger and it just crumbled. Nothing to it. Just broke down. And these products are less. I want to say, I know I bought it between 22 and 23. So between 3 and 4 years. And that is too fast for a product that grown-ups are using. We're not slamming the door, right? Only thing we're doing is we close it like you normally do. These things should be tested for those type of situations, because if you have kids, and kids are kids, right? Some grown-ups are just like kids. They don't think first, they just get something out the microwave and bam, slam it, right? So it should be tested where nothing happens to it, but that's not the case. So anyway, Now I'm debating whether or not to get rid of this LG altogether, get a Frigidaire, because there's no way I can replace that handle, right? There's no way. So if I go out and try to look for a basic model, something that's not too expensive, but replace it altogether, hopefully the wife was telling me that, or one of our family members, they have it where they lift from the door. There's no handle. They just stick their hand underneath underneath this opening, and then they open it that way. The same thing I can do with this one, because it can still be open and closed, right? But the only thing is, I could take something and fill it and jerry rig it and just make it look comfortable where it don't stand out too obvious that it's not a handle there. And I could try to fill some kind of void in there and put something in there to fill it. And we can just bring it from the inside like that, because there is a piece and there is a way you can open it up without needing a handle, and just close it back and forth. 'Cause like I said, it works great. It's just cheap material that they use to keep it together. And they had to know this, because there's no way that handle should be that expensive. That handle is close to $100 to replace. So again, just letting you know that if you're having a situation, don't think it's just you. A lot of us are having that same situation when it comes to LG products. So basically, I would say if you had to do it right, get the old school companies that benefited and did this stuff for real, like Frigidaire, GE, Whirlpool. These companies were the companies that I know about when I was growing up in the 70s. So that was what we had in our house: Whirlpool, GE, Frigidaire. Those were the products that my mother and father had, and we grew up with them products. I don't remember changing our refrigerators unless they just wanted a new one, or changing out the stove, right? If they just wanted a different look, that's the only way we saw them change them. Other than that, it wasn't because they were broken, right? So yeah, LG, and I want to say Sanyo. Is it Samsung? Samsung is another product that you don't mess with, right? When it comes to your kitchen products, they're cheap as well. I've gone through some Samsung products, and I would not recommend anybody getting those products to take care of your kitchen needs and things like that. Entertainment-wise, I think, yeah, the products they do, phones and all that kind of stuff, I think that's them. That's what they do. But when they try to jump into that game of refrigerators and stoves and microwaves, I think they use secondhand products, and it shows, because this is less than 2 to 3 years and I'm already out of a handle. Twice, right? Twice. So yeah, this is my little soapbox tantrum on a Sunday, because my wife went in there and she hit it, and she said it broke from the top too. So the whole handle came off. Anyway, keep yourself in good spirits, and be blessed to be able to at least replace things like this. That's why it not bother me too much. It is, but it's not, because at least I can replace it and just get it over with and do it like I did with that refrigerator. I just replaced it, just said I'm done, we're out. I'll just sacrifice and go get it and give me what I need to make myself happy. So done. No phone calls, none of that back and forth, trying to get somebody online and explain to me why. So no, none of that. I just said kick the middleman out and handle your business yourself. So there you go. With that said, I'm out. Y'all be cool, be safe out there. Peace.